Welcome to another episode of Fear the Talking Heads, where I have Bonehead Weekly with me, and it's a special little mini episode because we're going to be talking about show and tell for Spawn of Scarefest, which will be happening on Saturday of next weekend, June 6th. And these guys will be hosting it, so they'll be bringing some of their own things. But I wanted you guys, as the audience, to see some of the cool items that they're having that have little stories attached to them so that you know what to expect when you come out with your own things.
So I've been collecting one sheet theatrical movie posters since I was dating a lady. I think I was 19, and she bought me a poster for Starship Troopers. But my Starship Troopers poster, and it's actually right over there. You can't see it. But I love movie posters, and all three of us love movie posters, but I love movie posters. I love the art. And it's a lost art form, and I'm not going to get into that whatsoever. But one of my favorite ones is Dawn of the Dead, but it's encased in glass and over there, and I'm not taking it down. One of the other favorite ones is this baby. It's my original one sheet of the Evil Dead 2. And what's cool about this is I've met a lot of the cast, and it's, Bobby Joe's on there, Ash. I don't know if you guys know Bruce Campbell. Sam Raimi's also on there. We have a few other ones as well. And over the years, Ted's on there. Over the years, it's been Danny Hicks, who's no longer with us, signed it before he passed away. And I'll be able to add some more of it, hopefully, knock on wood, this fall at the other Scarefest. And I don't know. It's one of those. I have my Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and they're all original, and they just make me happy every time I see them.
Awesome. What about you, Chad?
What poster wise or what I bring?
What did you bring?
Because I was gonna say, yeah, I get happy looking at my DC Cap poster every day. The guys know a little bit about this, but they don't know all the details. I have brought a dehydrated duck head. What you can't see, it's hard to see, is that there are actually autographs on the dehydrated duck head. So, uh, my wife for Valentine's Day, she got me tickets to my favorite podcast. I've listened to it for almost 12 years now. It's a very popular podcast, Last Podcast on the Left. It's a true crime podcast, and they also talk about UFOs and the paranormal things. One of the hosts of the show is named Henry Zabrowski. He's also on one of my favorite shows, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. James actually is the one who introduced me to that show.
Which is funny because his face is not pretty.
It's pretty to me.
Just as God made me. Probably after a
Do you
bender.
really, Davy? Do you think it was
And
God?
it's like, there's like more stories I could attach to this whole thing. So like James introducing it to me at a hotel when we were out, when we were traveling. So we went to the show and it was great. They told a lot of jokes. I was having a great time. And at the end, they said, we used to do Q&As, but the Q&As was always boring. We didn't know what the questions were going to be, and some of the questions were just lame. So for our shows, we do a reverse Q&A where we ask you a question and you give us your answer. And if we like it or not, you win a prize. Now, the background story is for the whole show, Henry Zabrowski was dressed as Colonel Sanders. And Ed Larson, who's another host of the show, was wearing overalls with a tie-dye t-shirt. And the question they asked was, pretend we're male prostitutes. We're going to be dressed exactly like this. How much do you pay and what would you do? Now, as all three of you know, I'm very introverted. I don't like to speak up, especially in a crowded Manchester hall in downtown Lexington, and I don't know anybody. And I came up with an answer. I hesitated at first, but then they went to somebody else, and she gave a really bad answer. So I raised my hand, and Ed had caught me earlier because I was wearing my hoodie that he really liked. And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to that guy." And he goes, "What's your answer?" And I had this long answer that I was going to do, but I hesitated, but I said enough to get a laugh. I said $7, anal, KFC gravy. And the whole room erupted as Henry was up there laughing. He goes, "It's not going to get any better than this. We need to wrap this up right now." And then Ed goes, yeah, you definitely get a prize. And before he was handing people prizes out of his bag, but he goes, what do you want? And I said, well, what do you have? And he had stickers. He had Miami Dolphins football cards because he's a huge Miami Dolphins fan. But he goes, I also have dehydrated duck heads with their autographs on it. I'm like, I want that. And that's how I got this. I've won a few small things here and there, but the only two things I've ever won that were really cool were times I've been in a crowded room and had to tell a joke.
Forces you out of
Yeah,
your comfort zone, right?
it really does.
Yeah.
I was grinning ear to ear. I thought my wife was mortified because I spoke up and said anal with KFC gravy. It was a great night. I just all night long I was like jumping for joy, holding this in the car and then showing the girl my daughters, and they're like, ew.
Can I say something real quick in between? All three of the boneheads have specific things that we're really good at. We all three have things that we're decent at, but each one of us have something we're good at. And I think Chad's gift is not only editing, but it's always been to write a joke. He's a really good joke writer.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
what a
wish I would
nice
have got.
compliment.
Thank you. I really wish I would
She's
have
meant
got.
it to Barbara. It's like, thank you for saying
No, no, I
that.
meant that to you. But
No,
I,
it's true.
I, I really wish I could have got the whole joke out because the whole joke, he loves Dune and hates Timothy Chalamet like I do. And I had this whole joke of pay him $7. Also, there was a whole joke earlier about hating coleslaw, and I was going to say $7 KFC and lube while we watch Dune. I tip you the coleslaw, you take it back to Hollywood and shove it in Timothy Chalamet's face because what do they have in common? They're both shit. That was the whole joke.
That's not true. They're both great if they're cast right.
So yeah, it was
Joe won't
yeah.
let you besmirch. Was it
Coleslaw.
no? What is it? Timothy Supreme. What is that? I don't know.
Marty Supreme.
I haven't
Marty
watched it.
Supreme. Thank you. My wife and children all hate it. So there you go.
Yeah.
And James, you're up.
Well, I tried to think of something, and there's so much, and there's a lot that have personal stories, but it takes so long to get into it. And I thought, well, what is this for? We're talking about Scarefest. We're talking about something, and this just seemed like an ideal time. I've even at times thought maybe it's time to get rid of this, but just for the response that we'll get out of Joe, one of the great things about Scarefest that I really enjoy is that. Hey, I
I
love
know
the
what he's
vendors.
doing.
I
I
love
know
the
what he's
vendors. I
doing.
like going around, but I've also became a huge fan of Joe Robinson, who often does the art. And Joe Robinson did Vincent Price art, but he also every year does art for Scarefest. He does the official poster, and every year he raffles off um, the art, and he has everybody that's there sign it. And you buy a ticket for $1 and you can win it. So this was what is this? Scarefest 2010. It's right down there. It says 2010. When George Romero happened to be a guest, which he signed it right there at the top. But it also has George the Animal Steel, a bunch of other people on here, some of which are
2010?
no longer with us. They were $1 an autograph, and if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. I was the last bonehead to buy one,
Yeah.
and I had a 5, and I was like, screw it. I don't want one. Just go ahead and sell me 5. And the 5th one I bought is the one that won. And so there's a photo of me somewhere with Joe Robinson because, of course, he took a photo with the winner.
Can you hold that
And
up again, James?
yeah, it's kind of big, but yes, it's got various and sundry people on it.
I was trying to see. It almost looked like Danny Trejo. Was that the year Danny Trejo was there?
It was, but I
Uh,
don't
Yeah,
think so.
I
Romero
think
was
that's the
there in
year.
2015.
That's the year he was running around with a microphone,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
a
yeah.
bullhorn. I mean,
I swear I don't remember him doing it. I guess Romero did the Scarefest twice, but I have no recollection of that.
That is a really cool. That would be fun to bring,
Yeah,
just
I
so
didn't want
people
to
can
pack
look
it
at it.
around.
I don't think
I don't blame you.
I don't has Brandon ever seen it?
Not in person. And if he wants to offer me a deal on it, I'll sell it. By
so
the way, I should say Joe Robinson, this particular year, the reason actually I donated, because he does it all for charity. This particular year, 2010, he was raising money for the Spinal Bifida Association. I had a cousin that was born with spinal bifida. So I wanted to give Joel Robinson some shout outs. Not to be confused with Joe Robinson, the character from, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, I love his designs. Comes out with the best designs for the t-shirts.
Well, and he did covers for the Vincent Price Presents comics from I forget what publishing company did those. And his Vincent Price, I bought a shirt that he did that was Vincent Price because they're just perfect. So yeah, if you get a chance, if Joel, I don't know, is Joel going to be at Spawn? Do we know?
Yes.
If you get a chance, hit his table up.
All right, Joe had something to talk about right here at the end about giveaways.
Here, if you've got to come to show and tell and you're going to have a great time, but you have the chance not only to share something very personal of your collection, but you have the chance to win something. So the number one thing that we're going to give out, the number one prize, is that you actually can come on Bonehead and we'll talk about your collection and talk about collecting for an episode, and that'll be a lot of fun. Number two is I'm probably going to do a gift card to a movie theater just because we need to go to the movies. And number three is a one night with James Thomas.
Thank you guys for sharing at Show and Tell. We will see you all at Spawn of Scarefest.